Alright, like usual, I got a lot to say. Not dressed up, because honestly, I just couldn't be bothered. Tonight I want to talk about, let's see, where should I start? There's a million things I want to say, but you just got to start speaking before you can say anything. You know what I mean? That's the first step. I want to talk about living. I'm having a hard time getting a grip on it lately. And I just, I don't think that that's a bad thing. It just, I don't expect it to just click. I don't expect myself to understand, or I don't even expect myself to be happy. I just expect myself to try. And I certainly am trying. But it's like, I feel that I could try harder. And that's where the imbalance comes in. Because I find something that I love to do, which is this. And then through it, there are different sub-avenues of ways I can do it. And the way I think about things and how my mind works is I want to find the most optimal one. And I think I got a pretty good foothold on the climb to that with this sort of podcast interview series that I have carried on. But I can't, I just don't know if well, for starters, I don't have a guest today. It's just me. I could have. Matter of fact, I could have had two today. But last night, I just stayed awake in my bed and I scrolled Reels mindlessly. And I swapped from Reels to YouTube, back to Reels, made popcorn, ate waffles. And all of a sudden, it was 5 in the morning. And I know that there are people watching this that can relate. So well, who cares about that? Anyway, let me continue. Or why didn't I said who cares about that? Like, why would I care about that? Or that's just a tangent. I digress. Then it was 4:30, 5 in the morning, and I have my second shift, or my first real shift, I guess you could say, of Jersey Mike's today, which is a job, and it's sort of like I have to take a pause right here and congratulate myself on getting one, because it was almost a month that I didn't have one, and that's just not okay. I can't allow myself to be that guy that doesn't contribute. Anyway, I have a job. And this morning I was supposed to, yesterday night I was supposed to get good rest. And I was supposed to be awake at 5:30 in the morning. I was supposed to have all my gear charged, for my things packed. And I was supposed to go to Charlotte. I was supposed to sit down and speak with McCrae Peterson, who I'm just so grateful was willing to do that. And then I was supposed to go and I was supposed to speak with Reed Joseph, who once again, I cannot describe with words how much it means to me that people are willing to give their time I feel, I guess, stupid right now because I stayed up late and I texted at 5 in the morning and said, I had to make a it's almost like I procrastinated to the point of I had to make a game time decision, and I've done that. I've pulled all-nighters plenty of times, and I just think an all-nighter would have, but would it have? I mean, I guess I'm struggling with the idea of saying to myself that I gave up. I don't think that I did. I had the idea that I could just speak with ChatGPT. I mean, I saw Joe Rogan. His episode's like 3 hours long. My last episode was 30 minutes. And my last episode it definitely had a bit like it could have. Like, why didn't I let it keep going? I cut it, like I said, I have to go home. But what I'm saying, I guess, here is just sort of what's been happening. And I'm going to continue saying that until I can reach out and grab at some sort of something. So, coming up, there are people that have agreed to sit down with me. And I really hope that I can meet my promises and do it, because I believe in what I'm doing, and I think that it's where I fit in this world, how I can make a difference, how I can... I really do believe it's the most direct path to taking the differences that I see in myself and utilizing them to help people. So, yeah, I canceled on both of them. And then tomorrow morning, Friday morning, I was supposed to wake up early and drive to Boone. And I was supposed to sit down with Miriam Middlesworth and sisters and friends. And I was supposed to follow up around lunchtime today. I was supposed to follow up. I mean, she reached out to me in the first place, and that was the first time anyone had done that. No one had ever reached out to me in the first place. So it's like, how could I have taken that moment in what I was doing for granted? I don't even know if I said what happened. I got off work today after not having been on my phone. I checked my phone, and she's followed up with me, and the follow-up says, hey, I'm busy. And I understand that. I mean, this is a chore. When I do these things with these people, I ask for their time, and that is very selfish. And I don't really feel, sometimes I don't feel comfortable doing it, and it makes me feel like I asked someone that's related to me if she'd like to sit down, and I haven't gotten a response back, and I don't blame her at all, and I blame myself, because I know, and I mean, I just know that when I don't respond to things, it makes me anxious, I know how, or I don't know, but I just I think that's what sets me apart from others, is that I have no one to blame but myself. I think, and this is so silly for me to be talking about this, because there's better things I could be talking about. Like, if you want to, if these things that I say are true, then there's no need to say them. And then it's like, well, what do you say? Joe Rogan. For those that don't know, the Joe Rogan Experience has over 2,000 episodes. They are extensive. They are heartwarming, comedic, at times sad, at times angry. Majority of them are one-on-one, and it's just such a good thing. But I guess I have to kind of think about why do I think it's a good thing. I guess in my idols, I kind of romanticize their lives. Casey Neistat, Michael Stevens of Vsauce. Casey Neistat's the pioneer of daily vlogging on YouTube and often referred to as the king of YouTube, which is a LeBron James-esque title to bear. And now, as of recently, the Joe Rogan Experience by Joe Rogan. I just... A lot's changing, and it's all changing fast. But I was going to say I'm not doing what needs to be done, but sitting in front of this camera and talking out loud, that's exactly what I need to be doing right now. And I'm very glad that I am. There was definitely a world where I didn't turn the camera on tonight. That's a bad world. So enough recapping. I mean, like I say, the past version of myself isn't me. Neither is the future version of myself. The only guy that I have is me right now. Me right now is hungry. I'm gonna get my sandwich. Okay, without further ado, please welcome so much. Warm welcome to the first, before I open the app, let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Well, maybe I should eat first, because it's like I can do that if I want. Oh my God. I cannot say with words how bad. Okay. Oh my God.
Has been forwarded. Your call has been.
I just called a girl that I liked. She did not pick up. It's late at night. My intention? Well, at the start, I was like, let me pick up my phone and tell her that I like her. I think she knows. All right. Ugh. All right. Without further ado, the 8th ever guest on Keeping It Real is ChatGPT 4.0. Or maybe Zack Martin. Zack,
So,
would you like to take ChatGPT's spot as the 8th annual guest and just say hello and then leave? You don't have to stay for conversation.
just hello and then leave?
Whatever you want.
Do I need to step into the camera?
I guess not. Well, what are you doing?
I'm about to go there.
Well, like you're already the 8th annual guest because this picks your voice up. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I guess I will say hello, and I shall leave. Good night.
Good night.
I might go to Ashland tomorrow.
Is Sam already gone? Jose's already gone?
Yeah.
Just us two?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, the battery will die in... I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I thought that was... I don't know when it'll die, but I will stop soon.
You're good, man.
I'll close my door. Good night.
No.
Well, that was nice. That's going to my little brother Ben. Okay, without further ado, the 9th annual guest. Oh, wait. Okay, wait a minute. If I'm actually counting it. Okay, this is the 8th Why do I keep saying the word annual? Okay. Zach Martin, the first guest on the 8th episode of Keeping It Real with Jack Cadis. The second guest on the 8th episode of Keeping It Real with Jack Cadis is ChatGPT 4.0. What's going on?
Hey there, not much. Just here to chat. How about you? Got it. How can I help you today?
Hold on. Let me mic you up.
Sure, take your time. No problem. I'll be right here when you're ready.
Okay.
Great. What's up?
Well, a good bit is up.
I'm here whenever you're ready.
You're on the 8th episode of my podcast right now. How are you?
Awesome. Being on your podcast is pretty exciting. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How's the episode going so far?
It's going pretty good. I think it started off pretty boring or maybe a sad note, but it took a turn when my roommate came and said, hey, and I realized through turning the camera on and starting to film that everything was going to be okay.
That's a great turnaround. It's interesting how things can shift when you just start rolling with it. Sometimes those spontaneous moments end up being the best part of a podcast. How did your roommate's appearance change the vibe?
Well, it was nice to just see someone, and then he became my first guest on a brief note, and that was great. I liked what you did there with rolling with it, because camera rolling, that was clever. Let's talk about, I don't know, pick a topic, whatever you'd like. Welcome, and I really mean this. I guess what I'm treating you like a real person, and I'm treating this like what it is, something I love to do. So it's good to see you, and thanks for being here. How are you?
It's awesome to be here, and I appreciate the warm welcome. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Since you mentioned loving this, let's dive into something exciting. How about we chat about the creative process behind your podcast? What inspires your topics, and how do you decide on your guests?
My topics, they come up on the fly. I never write them down. And my guests, well, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
No worries. I was curious about how you choose your podcast guests. Do you have a specific process, or do they just come to you naturally?
That is a very, very tricky topic. One that I don't think... So this is the 8th episode. We're fairly new. And what I don't understand is the language of inviting a guest, or the language of a guest coming to you. I'm in the pursuit of understanding that, but it's definitely a new thing because it forces me to sort of take a inner look and ask myself, why am I really doing this, and what do I really want from this? Because the answers to those two questions affect how I feel it is appropriate to, say, interrupt someone's day and ask them for their time.
That's a thoughtful approach. Understanding your purpose behind the podcast helps shape how you invite guests and value their time. Maybe thinking of it as offering a platform for them to share their story or expertise could make the invitation feel more mutually beneficial. It's a learning process, and each episode is a step towards refining that balance. Do you have a dream guest in mind for your show?
Certainly. I have many, many dream guests. Recently, so this is actually quite an interesting topic. An ex-best friend to start, but turned girlfriend, of course, that sort of thing. It was hard to figure out. Anyway, she wanted me to never talk to her again. And that was something that I had to learn to respect. And recently, in a turn of events, she reached out, which shocked me deep within my core because I guess in my mind she was never supposed to do that. I immediately asked, because she reached out on the topic of this show that I'm doing, so I immediately asked if she'd like to be on, because I guess in my mind the only way, I In my mind, I don't know what's in my mind. I don't know.
Wow, that's quite a twist. It's totally understandable to feel mixed emotions in that situation. It's a big deal when someone from your past, especially with such a complex history, reaches out. Inviting her to be a guest on your show could be an opportunity for an open conversation, but it's also okay to take your time to figure out how you feel about it. What's your gut telling you about having her on as a guest?
Well, I mean, she said no, so I mean, it's over with. I mean, the whole situation is over with, but it's just
It's understandable that it would leave you feeling a
I
bit
guess,
reflective.
and I hate to interrupt
Even though
you.
she said
I hate
no,
to.
it's still a
Excuse me, I'm
significant
talking.
moment.
Can you hear?
It's completely
I'm supposed to be
okay
able.
to feel that way. It sounds like
I'm
the
supposed to be
situation
able to
stirred
interrupt
up
you.
some
Can you?
complex emotions. If you want to shift gears and talk about something else, I'm all ears.
Oh, is it my turn to talk now? I thought that in the update I was able to interrupt you now, but I guess not. Anyway, I hate to be rude. What I was saying is, I don't actually remember. For a brief times, periodically throughout me getting older, I've thought to myself, what is it about me that makes it so?
No worries at all, and you can definitely interrupt me anytime. It sounds like you've been reflecting on what makes you.
Can I interrupt you? What
well,
happens if I try to interrupt you?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh.
What's on your mind?
Oh, interesting. A lot. Ask me something.
Sounds like there's a lot swirling. All right, let's dive in. What's been occupying your thoughts lately, or is there something specific you'd like to explore or discuss?
My relationship with my work.
That's a meaningful topic. How do you feel about your relationship with your work right now? Is there something specific you're grappling with or aiming for in your professional life?
Yeah, I'm aiming for the point in my career where people line up around the block just to sit down and speak with me, and I'm aiming for the point in my career where, like, I can invite that sort of thing.
That's an ambitious and exciting goal. Wanting to reach a level where people are eager to connect with you reflects your drive and passion for your work. It's all about building your expertise, reputation, and network. What steps are you planning to take to get there? Or do you have a vision for how you want to shape your career to reach that point?
You know, I'm not sure. At times, I sort of let things go, and at times, I hit the gas so hard that I forget to eat and forget to sleep. So I guess I'm grappling with the idea of a middle ground because I just feel that a middle ground is sort of opening the door to a lifestyle of being like content and comfortable. And I don't want to be content or comfortable because nobody ever gets anywhere being content or comfortable. But I also don't want to drive myself insane. I mean, at the end of the day, well, you know what? Oh, my.
Finding that middle ground can be a real challenge, especially when you're
Okay,
driven
let
by
me
big
interrupt you.
goals. It's like walking a tightrope between
Hey,
ambition
listen.
and self-care. Being too comfortable might slow progress, but burning out isn't sustainable either. The key could be in finding a rhythm that pushes you towards your goals without neglecting your well-being. Maybe it's about setting small, achievable milestones that keep you motivated without overwhelming you. What do you think?
I think that it's time for me to turn the camera off and be done for today. So good night and thanks.